100, make it pop up, see for buttons, two
Let's
on
get
that
started.
airport.
Welcome,
Yep.
everybody, to the Russell County Fiscal Court meeting on February the 10th. I would like to start by asking Pastor Scott Gray if you would come up and say a prayer over our meeting, if everybody can stand.
If you don't mind, I'd like to share a quick scripture with you. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 and 9. Finally, brothers, my sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think of such things. Whether you have learned or received or heard from me or seen from me, put into practice. And the God of peace be with you. Let us pray. Most glorious Heavenly Father, we praise you for the lungs that we have to breathe. We thank you for their day to, again, just do what you ask us to do. I pray for these men and women as they just think of the physical things that need to happen in our county and the funds that need to be placed in certain areas. I pray, Father, that you would just give them clarity of mind and understanding, give them grace, and give them mercy. Father God, I thank you for these things, and I thank you for the opportunity to pray today. And I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Go ahead, you're over there this time, y'all. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our next meeting.
Motion for the minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Wilson, second by Magistrate Skaggs to approve the minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Next on the agenda is a motion to pay the bills.
Judge, I make a motion to pay the bill.
Motion made by Magistrate Richardson,
I'll second.
second by Magistrate Wilson to pay the bills. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Jailer's not here, and Kim will read the detention center report.
Average inmates was 91, overtime hours was 10. Let's see, got the checks in corrections assist for $88,245, prescription copay for $27.48, nurse visits for $34.77, catastrophic medical payment for $1,745.53, House Bill 452, $339.31, House Bill 556, $1,000, another House Bill 556 for program attendance was $8,362, DUI fees collected $765.66, state inmate housing is $42,655.38, Social Security payment for $400, House Bill 415, $1,733.36. Traffic school, $46.41. Inmate housing from Clinton County is $9,294. Inmate housing from Greene County is $1,360. Old bills collected was $1,195.46. Booking fees is $2,225.19. Fee claim for $301.54. Vending commission for $31.79. A phone commission check for $410.02. Another phone commission check for $2,264.16. Reimbursement from canteen, $102.47. Per diem, $2,490.33. Interest of $39.91. Transfer from general of $127,000 even. For the total receipts at $212,770.37. Total actual receipts less the transfer from general was $85,770.37, and the total expenses were $170,251.31, which left a negative $84,480.94. Also, in addition to his report, you all been presented the policies and procedures handout and so just make sure you all approve that as well.
So we'll make it two motions, we'll put the motion together.
I would say one.
The motion-
I'll say.
Motion made to approve it and then approve the, these,
Yeah.
policy procedures. Magistrate Garner made the motion. And Magistrate Whittle seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next on there is, bids.
Yeah.
Just trying to go fast. Okay. All right, we've got bids on the e-cigarettes and the food service for the jail.
These were the only, we only got one bid, which is customary for both, so. Wait, let me get this up. We got a pop. Wait till I get it. Oh, my gosh.
It's a bid, I don't know what they put it together.
Oh, I did bring it.
You're giving
Just
me
use
mine.
Well, because they send samples. Oh, they got it all sealed here. Because it's got E6 in it.
Oh.
And I don't know why they do that. They do it every year.
Cut or so.
Here we are at the hospital, we're trying to get them to
Yeah.
go away from these, and we're sitting there taking bids to get them in. And the partners in prevention, we're doing the same thing.
Okay. This is from Custom Technologies, there's their insurance, the drug administration information, and basically, what is it, pricing is $3.50 per unit. Kentucky Vape Tax, House Bill 351, is $1.50 per unit and paid to the state. Should be not included. So it's the only bid we have. Here they are.
Okay, want to see it?
See ya.
You want to see it?
No.
So, okay. I'm going to do these both individually.
We'll do both of them together.
One time, yeah. Hopefully this will be easier.
Since there's only one of each.
This bid is from Kelwell, which is our current vendor. Let's see. Okay. Average meals pricing schedule, 31 to 40 is $5.34 per tray, up to 41 to 50 is $4.22 per tray, 51.60, $3.54 per tray, 61.70, $3.11 per tray, 71 to 80 inmates, $2.79 cents per tray, 81 to 90, $2.52 per tray, 91 to 100, $2.36 per tray, and it goes on up from there, but we don't usually have more than 100, so that's the bid from Kelwell.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Garner to accept the bid on the e-cigs and the food service for the jail. You second it.
I'll second.
Mr. Waddell, I thought he
Oh, Waddell did.
He did, yeah.
Magistrate Waddell seconded it.
Oh.
All those in favor,
That's all
signify by
right,
saying
Larry
aye.
can do it.
Aye.
Next up is Sheriff's Court.
For the month of January 2025, the Russell County Sheriff's Office responded to 507 calls for service. Had 23 arrests, 6 domestics. We had 59 traffic stops. Had 19 accidents with no injuries. We had 9 accidents with injuries. Had 24 motorists assist. 18 alarm calls, 10 animal complaints, 37 requests for a deputy, 2 shots fired complaints, 11 suspicious person complaints, 24 welfare checks, and 288 other calls. We had 5 mental health transports, 5 to Eastern State, had 68 court papers served. We had 82 prisoner transports, and court security deputies drove 3,238 transport miles, had 329 vehicle inspections. We had 6 concealed deadly weapons permits issued. We collected $348,267.60 in real estate taxes for January 2025. Also, before I forget, I don't want to forget, but met with the DAV, with Larry Skaggs at the DAV about the memorial for Josh, in case, you know, if there's any question, whatever we want to do with that. We got permission to do something on the Doughboy too, in case that was out there. We got permission to do that, but
Also talked with Starlene Foley from Southern Kentucky Monuments up here. She said that she would work with Fiscal Court and us any way we could to help out, cut costs and everything as far as getting some type of, if you decide to put something on the courthouse, whatever you do like that, and help us out any way she could.
Becky Shannon, she'd been coming to these, and she sent me a thing this morning. They're looking at like the bronze plaques to go on the wall, and maybe one here and one over there. There's a company, I can't remember what it was, something bronze.com, or whatever. They crazy, you open up their webpage and it shows H.M. Bottom sitting next to that plaque up there at Russell Springs, and part of their stuff, that they've done.
Wow.
So, there's some options out there, I guess, and we need to talk about them before I just kind of let them decide what they want to put
Gotcha.
on. There was actually a comment about putting a QR code on that plaque so that if you didn't write everything, because most people walk by a plaque and they won't read it all, they just kind of see it, but if you had the sheriff's insignia or badge there and maybe him, whatever, some stuff, and put a QR code, and then it could feed back to our website or something with a bunch of information about jobs, because most of the time they won't sit and read it, and the way times are going and things are getting more tech, the younger
Oh, yeah.
generation will not read it, they'll scan it and maybe sit and read it later, so, I thought it was a great idea, because not everybody had, that's good stuff.
I'll make a
Make a
motion.
motion to accept the.
I'll
sheriff's
second.
report. Second, made by Magistrate Waddell, seconded by Magistrate Richardson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Sheriff's 24 final fee account settlement. You all have that, because I think Lisa just brought that back up.
Yeah. Let me go with
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
The revenues, we had $1,456,563.46, $1,456,563.46. Total expense was $1,414,483.90, which left excess fees to be turned back over to Fiscal Court in the amount of $42,079.56, which I think that's really good. There's probably not been that much money turned back over to Fiscal Court since well before Larry Bennett, when Larry Bennett was sheriff. But maybe they'll go help a long ways toward helping us with hazardous duty retirement for the deputies, for sure.
You bought a couple of new vehicles this year. Have you already paid for them?
Yes, that's already paid for.
What did they cost?
It's 42-something thousand apiece, whatever state contract price was.
Yeah. Okay.
I know we've talked about that before.
Yeah. Been on the court a long time. I ain't never seen that much money turned back in.
I appreciate working with you all.
Was that in the auto expense on here? Is that what that is? That's $132,000. I'm assuming that's where I didn't see a thing for the new autos, so I'm assuming it went into it probably.
I think, like I said, it's 40, whatever it was a piece on the two vehicles. It's probably 42 and 42, whatever that is.
That was 132. I'm just assuming that money for those two. went
That's
into
to
that with
equip
the
them and
auto
everything.
expense, yeah. Need a motion to approve this?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion
I'll
made by
second it.
Magistrate Wilson, second by Magistrate Waddell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
I think as excess fees goes up every year too, that'll just continue to increase, as long as we can still replace vehicles, and I think that'd be good.
If you keep it at it, that's gonna be good for
Yep.
sheriff's office and county. All right, monthly treasurer's report, you all have that in your packet, and the CD transfers. Okay, motion to approve them. Motion made by Magistrate Garner.
I'll second it.
Second by Magistrate Richardson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next up is. Next up. I got a budget meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's transfers first.
All right. Need a motion to transfer $60,890.85 from payroll to general fund and to correct the deposit error.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Magistrate Skaggs,
I'll second it.
second by Magistrate Garner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next one is transfer $700 even from the road to the general fund to correct the deposit error.
I make a motion to transfer
Motion
it.
made by,
I'll
which
second
one
it.
you guys want to make that?
Either.
Motion made by Magistrate Richardson, second by Magistrate Garner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now we'll get to the second reading of the ordinance for the budget amendment.
This is ordinance 2501, an ordinance relating to the fiscal year 24-25 annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas the Russell County Fiscal Court has realized unbudgeted receipts from the following funds. Be it ordained by the Russell County Fiscal Court of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, in section 1, the budget for fiscal year 24-25 is amended to increase/decrease the receipts of the following funds to include unbudgeted receipts from the general fund reimbursements for $473,981.74, in general fund for miscellaneous, $152,302.60. In the jail fund, medical reimbursements for $5,409.33. In the jail fund for other county inmates in the amount of $35,905.98. In the ARPA fund for prior year carryover in the amount of $87,582.87. In the tourism fund for the transfers in for $25,000 even. In dispatch fund, which is a transfer in the amount of $51,728.92. In the LATCF fund, under prior year carryover for $59.12. In the opioid settlement account for $113,027.14. In the clerk storage fund for clerk permanent storages in the amount of $72,860.27. And back in the general fund where transfers out, negative $51,728.92. And general fund again, which is a transfer out, which is a negative $25,000. To amend, total amended revenues is $941,129.05. And section B on the appropriation side in the general fund in the amount of $626,284.34. In the jail fund for the amount of $41,315.31. In the ARPA fund in the amount of $87,582.87. In the LATCF fund in the amount of $59.12. In the opioid settlement fund for $113,027.14. In the clerk storage fees in the amount of $72,860.27. For total amended appropriations at $941,129.05. In section 2, the amounts adjusted in the revenue accounts in section 1 are for governmental purposes only. This is the second reading, so we will need a vote.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Garner, second by Magistrate Waddell to approve the budget amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next is a second reading of the amended ordinance 92-1-2502 solid waste ordinance.
Folks, last month I presented you all with a kind of a consolidation of the 92-1 and 2502. We consolidated a couple of amendments previously approved by the court, but particularly with a couple of new, some additions. One is, if you take notice of section 4.1, and I'll read that pertinent part which was changed. It says all transportation vehicles shall be maintained in safe, clean, and sanitary conditions, shall be so construed, maintained, and operated as to prevent spillage of solid waste therefrom. All vehicles to be used for transportation of solid waste shall be constructed with watertight bodies and with covers which shall be integral of the vehicle and shall be a separate cover of a suitable material with fasteners designed to secure all sides of the cover of the vehicle and shall be secured whenever the vehicle is transporting solid waste, or as an alternative, the entire body shall be enclosed with only the loading hoppers exposed. That particular provision was incorporated and changed to address some of the issues that you all were concerned with. Secondly, I had asked to amend section It looks like 3 maybe abatement procedures, and to take the notification from 2 attempted certified attempts to only 1, that allows my office to address it quicker. So those are the 2 only additions to the ordinance that you all are seeking to pass today.
On that taking that to 1, after you send that 1 letter out, what's the procedures then?
Well, that enables a criminal complaint to be filed. That gets it into court. And then the court then, I guess, has a hearing on whether or not it's a nuisance, and number 2, whether or not what procedure the court wants to incorporate to allow the owner to abate the nuisance, and then if not, then allow the county to abate it, and then, lien procedures will start after that.
Who's that go for?
The district court, the district judges. So it's not a kind of a jury type of thing.
Yeah.
It's a finding by the court of the nuisance, and then they will decide on what procedure they want to use, whether or not they give them additional time, whether or not they do X, Y, and Z, or allow the county to. That would be a decision you all would have to make at that time to clean it up, and then
Because it seems like it's been drug out, and we've not been able to get much done, but I mean, some of them's bad.
Well, and that's honestly something that you all are going to have to decide, because there'll be, significant resources that the county will have to spend to upfront and.
But we can take a lien against their
Yeah.
property.
They can, you sure can.
I think we can if we can put a lien against most of it, because we've got the equipment at the road
Yeah,
garage and
we got roll-offs and
the roll
stuff.
lines that we could do a lot of work.
Right. I know the one that we did, it's worse now than it was.
Well,
You know.
it very well could be, and that's the thing,
Yeah.
anyone can file that, including you all.
Right. Yeah, I filed one of them
Yeah,
already.
yeah,
So
so.
we can do it and let it grow back.
Here's where I'm standing on it. I'm standing on it, and I'm presenting it to the court, and then I'll present it to you all, and you can decide how to go about it after that. Because that's really not my decision to make,
Yeah.
whether or not it, how it gets clean or whatever. It's up to you all, whatever you all see fit. But I want to be able to get it into the court's hands before, because it takes such a long time to get people served through certified mail and stuff. They don't pick up things, and, so that's the thing.
I think the
Sit there and
sheriff
no
ought
boss
to do
forever.
serve them.
Well, here's
Well,
one of the
it's
things I'm
easy
gonna
to
ask.
say that, it's easy to say, because you gotta be able to personally serve them, and
Yeah.
that's not easy either, especially if you're trying to, not get served, that's how it goes, so it's not an easy thing to do.
So we're doing 2 things here, really, if you think about it. We're trying to get something to cover these trucks that's flying around with. We pick up the trash one day and the next day it's back, right, because it's blowing out the vehicles and whatever. We're trying to, that was the first thing we did, and in the process, we're trying to help speed it up by taking one of those steps out of there and making it quicker for them to get the papers out to everybody. But that's something I'd ask the sheriff. I don't know, y'all passed this today. If we maybe 1 or 2 times wrote a littering ticket, and I don't know when the last time we've done that, but if we did, maybe we could slow down some of this stuff, because we can pick it up over there beside where they go into the dump, and it's mostly people with just an open trailer. I don't think a lot of it is, but it is some of them too, because I see that as well. But, if we can just get the word out there, is, hey, you're gonna get in trouble if you don't start covering this stuff up, maybe we can get more of it covered up, because they can pick it up one day and tomorrow it's back.
What days are they prevalent, I guess, most usually do it? I mean, kind of, is it just any certain time it's untelling?
They do it every
It's
day.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
I talked to
every
a
day.
solid waste lady, Lisa Evans up there, and she's like, hey, it's a law anyway, because I said, we're gonna put something in there about covering vehicles. She said, it's already a law. She said, it's just, being able to enforce it is the thing.
And it's wide open.
Yeah, it's every day on my.
I thought a person maybe, contact KSP too, do their
Yeah.
vehicle enforcement or something, especially if it's trailers or something down through there to
That'd
help
be
out,
great.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Because somebody got a 16-foot trailer in the back of a pickup truck, and then
Yeah.
they get it weighed when they get there, well, they got less to weigh, so it's gonna cost less money by the time they get there, because most of it's on the road.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them comes up 127 coming out of Casey County.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them comes up through there.
Absolutely do. But You know,
And they
it's just
fly
hard.
down
We
through
send a
there.
crew out there, we have a crew go out there about every day and, picking up trash. And they'll go back tomorrow on the same spot and pick it up again.
Yeah.
So-
We can
had
write
one.
criminal lettering. I mean, it ain't, you know.
I had
Be
one
great.
the other day to knock my mirror off. Yeah. Well, it did, down there
But,
on
and, you
Old
know, I don't know
Springs.
if y'all have any more comments about this, but those are the two things that he tried to put in this to rise.
Well, you do need a motion to
We need a
accept
motion
them
to-
changes and
because
them
we're-
amendments.
I'll make a
We're on the
motion.
second reading now, so.
Yeah, I'll
Motion.
make a motion.
Motion
I'll
made by
second
Major-
it.
Second by Major Scanes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And as it comes up, what we have to do is decide if we're gonna clean it up. Which, like I said, we got funds in there and we got guys that can do it. I don't have a problem with it. And if we put a lien on the property, because whether we're here or somebody else is here, that property is gonna be held until somebody can get that lien cleared off of it, so.
How about the constables, let them go find it.
Next up is the second reading of amended ordinance 05-08/2503, the dog ordinance.
This is an ordinance amending Russell County Fiscal Court Ordinance 2005, I think 08, imposing an animal surrender impoundment fee, whereas Russell County Fiscal Court deems it to the best interest of Russell County that Section 2 license fee of Russell County Animal Shelter Animal License be amended to impose an animal surrender impoundment fee for all animals picked up by any law enforcement or animal control officer or surrendered by the owner in the amount of $20 per animal surrendered or impounded. Now therefore be it ordained by the by the Fiscal Court of Russell County, Kentucky, in duly session assembled as follows. Section 1, then Section 2, license fee of the Russell County Animal Shelter Animal License Ordinance number 2005-08 be amended. Section 2, Russell County Fiscal Court hereby imposes an animal surrender impoundment fee of $20 for each and every animal picked up by law enforcement or animal control officer or surrendered by the owner and taken to the Russell County Animal Shelter. Section 3, this order shall be effective immediately upon passage and publication. Section 4, except as modified herein, all the terms and conditions of ordinance 2005-08 shall remain in full force and effect as set out herein.
Can I make a comment real quick?
Yeah.
So the first time we read that the first reading last month, somebody called in and said, you got 5 dogs, and he said they're gonna get an ordinance at $20, if that's okay, I'll write a check. So the money is not a big deal for them, for most of them, they wanna do it, but I'm just saying that I don't think the $20 is, and we may come back later and have to amend that, so.
Well, it's getting to be such an expense out of the county that we're gonna have to do something.
But that's all I have to say, but I just need a motion to.
Make a motion.
Motion made
I'll
by
second.
Mr. Garner, second by Mr. Waddell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you all. Next is the county clerk.
Look here, where's that money?
Our final fee settlement for this year will be $96,385.87. We're a little short from what we projected we were going to give, but I think that's got to do with the economy and a lot of things going out of our county. So,
Patty,
Thanks, Pat.
you want to talk about that, what we're losing out of the county?
well, I would. We have a dealer here in our county that is taking their vehicles to another county after they're purchased. I went through last week, on one day, there was $127,000 worth of vehicles sold to this county. And the usage tax went to another county, another neighboring county. And I just, it's not right. This is our county. This is our money. I do understand that there was a loophole in the legislation and that we can get it changed, but we're gonna have to work on it. And I have already set out to do that. Like I said, that was probably $3,800 one day of usage tax. So I'm just putting it out there. We all like to do business local, but if we're not getting our business and it's not coming back to our county, I think that we need to step up and say something.
Didn't you say your granddaughter bought a car here in Russell County, you got transferred in another county?
Yes, well, she went
Almost.
over there, it was gonna be transferred over
Till you
there.
stop.
And I called them and I said, I want it, my granddaughter has bought that car, I want it in this clerk's office. And they said they would see what they could do, and 2 days later, it come to the clerk's office, so. But this is coming from this county,
Yeah.
this county right here, going to a neighboring county.
So the neighboring county's the one that got the $3,800
Yes, sir.
that
Yes.
day, just
Yes.
for one
One
day.
One day, that's 4 vehicles.
So that's taxes we lost.
That's excess fees that we could get after
Yes.
that she's, yeah.
So, that's what I've been working on, and like I said, I've already started with the legislation to try to get that loophole and get that changed. Thank you.
Make a motion to accept.
Motion by
second.
Magistrate Garner, second by Magistrate Richardson, to accept the clerk's report and fee. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next, transfer $9,000 from the airport project to the airport general fund.
This money it was grant money, called the airport rescue grant. Because of the fact it was a grant, it has to go into the project account, but it actually, the funds are for payroll expenses, so
Make
that.
a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Garner, second by Magistrate Richardson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next on the agenda is the emergency shelter interlocal agreement. That's where the cities and the county put in money to house homeless people. We usually do that at one of the hotels and use that money for that. We do now have a room at the inn we're getting ready to use. Hotel just cleaned it up, so hopefully I'll get another one. But we have one over there. It'll help reduce our money we're having to put out for this. But it's $1,500 that the county's always put in. Both cities put in.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Garner, second by Magistrate Waddell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Next on the agenda is Martin Pursuit.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Everybody's doing good. Good to see everybody again. And did you get a chance to give this out to everybody?
I did not get it out, no.
Okay, I got a little information here just to pass it around. Sheriff, if you could pass it around. Keep it set here. Again, I appreciate your time getting on the agenda today. So I stepped on the green there, but just most recently we received our county aid check from Russell County Fiscal Court and from the Eli Fire Department, and as always, we're always appreciative of that money, and couldn't do it without it. And you appreciate the court and making seeing that we're still able to do that to us. But main reason we're here is just to talk to the court about on that note there on the consideration for that, and looking at some future sustainability for the department is, the best way I could. I tried to put some facts down on this for your review. And again, this is just something for consideration now. I know as you come into your budget development for the 25-26 budget year, maybe some consideration on that and something for the future. I know as a court and government, it's tough out there trying to stretch dollars as far as you can, and it is for us and it is for everybody, just our general life. Expenses are high, and we're wanting to make sure that department's there for the future of Russell County and its citizens. As we know, the Eli area is booming. And there's some of the statistics there that we have encountered just in that note from 2019 to it's on the back page from to 2024. Just in our jurisdiction alone, the property value increased 24.2%. So, again, values of things went up, I realize that, but we also seen the sustained growth of that area, which comes in part of the lake, the new dock, the parkway exit. All these things are factored in. The amount of VRBO property we have in that area, it's really expanded. So again, we don't expect something now, and you can't just flip a switch to make it happen, but we're hoping maybe for some consideration of an increase in our county funding, and or to look at some things for sustainability for the future. You know, as we know, we send out the subscriber fees, and that's how we've always done it. We see about an average 37% paid on from what we mail out to what we receive, which that number has increased a little bit over the years as we went out because we mail more. There's been more property transactions. What the tract of land that maybe used to be 100 acres is now 20 different tracts and 20 different owners. So we get a percentage of them to pay it. Again, that's a voluntary thing they do, but it you know, it's still with the cost of everything that's went up. And if you look at some of our budget numbers there, just in our general budget throughout the year for our expenses that we have, cost of operations, very little left over. Very little left over for capital outlay for the future, to, you know, looking at replacing trucks or anything like that. I mean, 2 years ago, not this past year, but the year before, we had a major fuel system issue on a truck, and that cost us almost $14,000. And that expense alone was almost $10,000. We had spent almost $14,000 just in truck repairs throughout the year. And then also that's general oil changes and everything throughout. One thing that's unique about us with Eli is, you know, we're a standalone entity. You know, we have the expenses that others may not, such as a city or city department, Jamestown, Russell Springs. I'm just using them as an example, but our insurance cost us $9,200 a year. You know, we have just the expense of mailing out the subscriber fees alone, and printing them and postage and everything. We spend $3,800 a year just in that alone to mail them. You know, so we incur those costs that others may not. So that's again just to stay in operation. You know, we got a great group and couldn't do it without the support of, but you're all support right now, and the support of the citizens is, you know, also, you know, but even our state aid money that we get, which is the same money that all departments get, as long as you comply, has went up almost 45% since 2012. And I can't remember when our county aid started increasing. At one point in time, our county aid was $2,500 a year. This has been back at least prior to 2012. I just couldn't remember, and I couldn't find the records when it started going up. Went up $5,000, then went $7,500, then it's been $10,000, but it's been at $10,000 since 2012. So we've not seen any increase in the county aid since then. As we know how much inflation and everything else has went up, the cost of operations just continue to increase. You know, our county our city department. Think about which department that city, county. I stand in front of the commission all the time talking, but you know, we hit 2 big benchmarks last year, and I don't want to speak and sound like terms you may not know what I'm talking about. Went through an ISO audit. I think Judge Marcum, he received a letter that we lowered our PPC for our area, which was great. And it's a savings going to turn around and pass along to our citizens and our property owners on their insurance premiums. And then there's an example I put on the document I gave you just in what it would cost, and that's my house, by the way. That's what it would cost me extra if that fire department didn't exist a year. It cost me $1,100 more a year. And that's just based off my property. It would pass along to everybody else as well. The other big benchmark we hit, we did receive a FEMA grant, an AFG grant from FEMA in August of last year. We got the notification of that. We work something we apply for every year, and our biggest goal was try to replace a truck that was which is now 42 years old. But we were awarded the amount of $450,000 to replace that truck. So that's big. That's big for this county. It's big for our department. It's going to serve this county well for the next, hopefully, 30 years. But with that comes the cost of a 5% match, which right now we're looking at about $22,000 that we're going to have to come up with. And we knew that going into it. We're making preparations to do so, but it's gonna be a challenge for us, and we're just thinking about the future, that if the court could look at some consideration on some ways of maybe increasing either our county funding and along with something sustainable for the future. Again, I'm available for questions. Appreciate your time, allowing me to talk to you today.
One of the things, I know since I've been on the court, it's like, I know the values of our property and stuff's gone up, but the county takes the compensating rate, so every year our money's the same.
Right.
We don't get any more than we got the first year.
I understand that.
And so it makes it kind of difficult, to manage and to do things, because we don't usually do increases. And some of the counties around us, a lot of the counties around us, they have insurance premiums tax. And Pulaski County, that's how they cover their whole deal. I don't know that, those cities I know have that, and I'm sure that's probably how they pull some funds to be able to give to their fire departments. Do you know what the cities are? Russell Springs is probably giving their fire department more than Jamestown, from what I understand.
Yeah, no, sir, I don't know either amounts or either budgets, but I do know they do have the city does have the insurance premium surcharge.
Yeah.
And they, I'm sure it helps them benefit from that along with the other things that they can pull from, but that we don't have. We don't have that luxury or anything there to help us out.
Does Fiscal Court donate to every fire department every year,
Yes. And it's been some.
including the cities?
Including the cities, both cities.
Get the same money,
Get
though.
the same amount of money.
Why? Why ain't the city taking care of the city? And I don't mean that in a smart aleck way, I'm just curious.
Good question.
Now I can understand Jamestown, they've taken on, actually an extension for South Russell, because we definitely need a fire department down there in South Russell. We need one. But these cities, like Russell Springs, why is the county, and that probably you can't answer, that may have been unfair to even ask you, Judge, I
don't know, to be honest with you. It was that way when I came in,
We've done it.
and it's,
Well, I don't think we ought to distinguish like between Jamestown and Ross Springs. I think the fiscal court ought to treat them all the same.
yeah.
In
And
defense of the city,
Eli,
if
I
I may,
disagree
they cover a
with
lot of county property too.
Right.
They have county, that's in defense of the city, they have a lot of county property
Yeah,
they cover
They
as
cover a lot
well.
of county.
Right.
So
property.
they're outside the city
Exactly.
limits.
But they charge.
See, I don't know I don't know their operation on that, Larry. I just do know they have county property they cover. But again, I'm just, looking at maybe in this upcoming budget development that we could, as a court, maybe could find it to look at an increase and maybe an increase over a period of years to cap or even consider the insurance surcharge as an option. There's other things out there as well that would, it helps out. I'm just looking for the future, for us to be there for years to come, long after I'm gone. I remember there wasn't a fire department down there, and, many people do, and that's how it began. Many people in that community got together, and
The citizens don't understand the ISO ratings. I got yours and I got one from Jamestown, that was it. I don't know if Russell Springs did it, I'm sure they did, but I didn't get it.
yeah, everybody in this whole area went through an annual audit on
I
that.
got the report from yours in Jamestown, so, and they don't, like I said, you put the numbers on here, but they don't understand what that saves them or what that's gonna cost them in insurance premiums. I don't know what the answer to it is, I just, I know we've got problems.
I hear it a lot on the scanner where if the ambulance is called out, you all automatically go. Do you all charge the insurance company for that?
No, we don't. And we may, I don't get inundate you with any numbers, but yeah, our run volume's increased, and how that kind of evolved over the years is, when, this is back when Dr. Boyle was EMS director here, so how many years ago that was. We got one of the first AEDs in the county, the fire department, and we was just running out on those calls on type of incidents, and then it evolved through there we in our world, we call it a mutual aid call. We go out to help EMS. I think we did 204 calls last year, 208 something.
Is there a reason y'all need to do that? Do you need the numbers or?
No,
Because I just had to,
They ask us to go Judge, it's just, they call us.
Well-
And
Yeah, I
we're
know,
glad to
Tanner a
help.
lot of
I
times
just had
that last
Fallbush
for
in
us.
my office Friday.
Yeah.
And some issues where they weren't responding because they said they weren't gonna do certain calls unless it was an emergency or life-threatening. So I had the director of EMS and the director of 911 in my office had a meeting. And that's when I found out what Nikki was saying about, they automatically call you all every time. And
A
so,
lot.
yeah, and we're probably gonna change that. That's not,
Yeah.
only if the EMS requests it, then we'll do it, but it's been an automatic thing, which is, not good for you all.
We, I mean, cut you off,
No,
sorry,
you're
but
good.
it may have been back when, Mike was the director, Reynolds, and, we put together some protocols. But like, I understand, and I talked to him about it, I understand if it's what we call code 300, or there's CPR needed, I mean, I understand that, but,
No, it's fine.
I mean, there's even little things like,
Drop the bank.
why we need to go start our truck. I mean, we're all about helping the
But
citizens.
I
and
know
don't get me
that's a
wrong.
lot of extra calls, and
Yeah.
if there's an emergency, or I know sometimes it's a lift assistant.
Yeah, and there's times we need to go out and lift, but I was like, if you get there and need us, call.
Yeah,
Just call.
right.
Having you going to every one of them.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, guys got jobs, it's volunteers, they got
Right,
jobs, they got to leave
that's
their
100%,
job, maybe the
yeah.
employer says, hey, I can't pay you for that hour you was gone, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out how to make it better for you all, and I did have that conversation, I'll have it again with Cory, she just left my office
Yeah.
earlier, but
And
I'll have that.
and we have a great relationship with EMS and all the other departments work together.
Yeah.
Always there to help each
Right.
other and want to. But yeah, it gets a little, I'm not gonna say this and sound like we're getting taken advantage of, but, we wanna help the citizens but if it's a true need for us to be there,
I
I mean,
understand.
in a scenario like this, it might be down Gosher Ridge. Well, heck, they hit the parkway and come down Gosher Ridge, and they're there before any of our guys may come from town or wherever even to help, so it's no need.
Yeah, we need to look at that, maybe I'll get you and Cory and we'll sit down and put some protocols
Yeah.
together to change that, and make that where it's, and then we'll get with Charles and see if we can't redo some of that.
Yeah, be glad to.
You're all the only ones, as far as I know, that's automatic. When the EMS is called, you guys get paid that.
And it was presented to them back when, and I know there's been some change in leadership in there, that, there was certain situations, a CPR needed thing that we would go automatically, because that's important, to get somebody there to get CPR started. And especially with us with AEDs, but then there was times of, little things that may not necessarily.
Somebody's got a hurt foot and you get paged out and there's about 6 people shows up at one house.
And then especially if both ambulances are busy, I understand us going for that, they're busy.
Well, if it's a code 300, I fully understand that. They use you a lot for traffic control too, do they not?
We work with all agencies on it, Bill. We have been called out for some traffic control when the tractor trailers try to turn that corner at Retro Bush or run up Patterson Road. And that's, just try to help out with that as well. But yeah, we've been called out for those. And again, the guys, we got a great group of guys and they always go out to help, but sometimes it gets a little taxing. But, our thing is just to make sure we're sustaining our existence for the future of the county, keep everybody's.
I'd rather you come back and say we ain't getting enough than to get overwhelmed with stuff that we don't need to be calling for.
But anyway, I do appreciate all y'all's time and listening and always open for questions. I mean, Zach got me down the agenda, he's been talking to me, appreciate him and doing that, and all y'all probably got my phone number. If you don't get any questions, please give me a call.
And throughout me talking back and forth with you, I've talked to several people in the Eli area and around, and I've heard all good things. I mean, everything about the fire department's been appreciated.
Appreciate that.
Trying to get other people to help out in ways and stuff, but I know it's hard.
Can you not implement that tax on the area that you serve up there?
Steve, as far as I know, and we've talked to Tim, PVA, about some scenarios as far as there is an opportunity that you could put the subscriber fees, which is not a tax. You know, it's not a tax.
Okay.
And other counties do this. I know Metcalf does, I think Nelson, there's a county, I think Bryan County does it some. That Breeding does it over in Dare County. But they got it where it goes out on the annual property tax statement. And the property owner has the option to check a box to not pay it. But if they don't have to pay it. You know, they do. If they do, they'll pay it along with their property tax is collected by the sheriff and then distributed back to the fire department. That would save us the money just in mailing them alone.
Right.
$3,800 a year.
Well, the public needs to understand though, where you servicing them, their insurance is a lot cheaper. Just like you was
Yeah,
talking
we
about,
try
to think about it.
that the public don't understand
We
that a
try
lot
to
of times.
communicate that and market that.
If your fire department wasn't down there, how much higher
Yeah.
their insurance would be.
Yeah.
But now that's how your cities, you know, they do as well as they do. It's,
Have you done one, man? I don't know.
That insurance premium, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
That, I mean, that's,
Right, yeah.
it's just hard to operate a non-profit organization, you know, it's, they have expenses just like somebody that's not.
Yeah, anyhow. But, yes, I stand here today, didn't expect no vote or motion or anything, just appreciated the court's questions and consideration on this matter and moving forward, and, you know, always be glad to work with any of you to help do that, help do something, or we'll do everything we can. Again, you know, we'll let everybody know when this new truck comes in, we welcome all of you down to dedicate that, because again, it's a.
You need to see Susan back there too, make sure you take it in October up to the fair.
Yeah, she'd actually already reached out to me, so we're good on that.
Good.
You know how it is right now, just with trucks, I mean, depending on the manufacturer we go with, which we've gotten it down pretty good, we could be 6 months to a year on construction. It's a challenge with everything else on that, but, and then the part of the stipulations of the grant is the old truck has to be sold, which it'll go up for bid, but it can't be used for it, because it's age, and that's just a requirement for the federal grant that it had to be sold. It couldn't be used for a fire department anymore.
Is that considered county equipment? It ain't really.
It's there, so.
Huh?
It's all ours.
It's all
either.
private, I mean,
Yes, sir.
the fire department.
Right, yeah.
But
Okay.
if we had another auction, so I don't think we've got rid of most of all of our junk. If we had another auction, he could put it in that online
In
auction,
with that,
which brings a
okay.
lot more money
Yeah.
than it does
Yeah.
doing sealed bids by far. It'll bring 8, 9 times more than what you'll get on the sealed bid.
Okay.
Marty, I appreciate you coming.
Thank y'all
Yeah.
for listening.
I think, you know,
I
it's something
wanna
we just look at
help
when we
if
do
we-
our budget.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's all I can ask for.
Appreciate you showing
Yeah,
up.
no, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day. Thank you.
You too, thank you.
All right. Next up is road changes. Yeah, go ahead.
This, that maybe we'll do too, we can get the letter back real quick.
Okay. These are all, basically, all three of these, we have three. First one is Paul King Road, which we talked about that last meeting and realized it's like we can't just do it as a vote. So, this will be the first, basically first reading. As you all know, the process to have a discontinuance of the road maintenance by the county. We'll have the first reading, which this would be considered the first reading, and then Lewis will take some of his road personnel, and they'll go and they'll view it. Then signs will be posted and explaining to the public, and that has to be posted in the next meeting in March. That will be considered the second one. We'll have the sign-offs from the viewers and everything, so the process is done legally. So, that being said, the first road is in District 1, it's Paul King Road. The request was made by the property owner to discontinue the road maintenance, and there's a sole owner of all property surrounding the road. That's CR number 1706. The second one, and it is a .026 miles in length. The second one is Kay's Drive. It's in District 2. It is the length of .110. This is also a request from the property owner, and that is the sole property owner of all property surrounding the road. The third one is W.E. Thomas Road. That is in District 4. It is .219 miles in length. And this, again, is the request from the property owner who owns all the property surrounding the road. So this can serve as the first reading of the discontinuance for each of those roads. Kevin, does that need to be, well, there's the first reading, so we don't have to vote.
We have to vote to do the process.
Okay.
Yeah, so yes, it does have.
Can
to
we
be.
do we have to do them separately or?
No, you can do them all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Warner, second by Magistrate Waddell. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. All right. Other business, I got a ton. It's about as much as it's on this thing here. You all have in your packet an update for the admin code. It's so that we can change the, what's that? Call-out policy, yeah. It's when the road department and people get called out in emergencies and different things. Just saying that we can pay them for 3 hours because most of them, some of them live lower, time they drive to the shop and get whatever and go back, it's gonna be 3 hours. Sometimes Lewis will have them to take equipment home, so if there's a tree down in the area, they can go out to it, but, there's not many people that wants to get called out in the middle of a storm and stuff, so just saying, if it takes them 2 hours to do it, we're gonna pay them for 3.
Minimum of 3
minimum,
hours is what
exactly.
you're trying to
That's
say.
all I'm asking that we change in that, is just give them,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
motion made by Magistrate Garner, second by Magistrate Richardson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, there's a MOU, I think it's in your packet. It's for the folks that rent over here from us, the Cumberland Family Medical Service. And they need this MOU signed from us for grants that they're applying for and funding. I didn't see any issue with it, but I asked Kevin about it, and just to make sure everybody's clear, I told him we'd present it to you all and then I'd sign it. So if y'all don't have an issue with it, want to make a motion, it's
I'll make
okay.
a motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Magistrate Waddell, second by Magistrate Skaggs. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Next, I'd like to ask, in the budget, we budgeted for a deputy judge, and there's a salary in there. I'd like to take that salary and convert that into hourly so that I can give it to Susan and put her in that role, because she's working part-time now, and this whole thing with this bicentennial is a full-time job at this point going, if we go through the rest of the thing, plus all the stuff that she goes already and represents me at, but it's just, it's a
I'll make a
salary, it's a
motion, we do
part-time.
it, Judge.
I second it.
Motion made by Magistrate Richardson, second by Magistrate Skaggs. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. You got a new role.
Your Honor.
Next, I need to get did he leave? A pre-approved transfer from the rescue squad grant funds that'll be coming in, and they have, what'd you say, how many days?
They have 15 days in order to procure whatever, the grant amount is, it's right around $15,000.
They asked for 50 and they got 15, but when the money comes in, they need to be able to
You
access it.
just need something,
I
so
just
when
need
it comes in, you
approval saying
can approve it.
yes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Magistrate Richardson, second by Magistrate Garner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. On the back of this, County Attorney Shearer, y'all asked him last time to do something on cannabis. And there's a medical cannabis policy for Russell County employees here. Do we need to get each employee, present this to them if it passes?
No, I don't
Just
think
make it
so.
part of the package. So, it's one page and it's pretty simple, I think. It's, we were worried about the liability and stuff. If you had somebody on cannabis and then they go out and, say they're DOT and they get inspected, but they have to go drug test and they test positive, what do you do? So we're trying to cut, since the
Is
federal
this something we
government.
need to pass?
Yes.
Well, I've
Federal-
read-
Federal
I've-
government doesn't recognize cannabis
Right.
or marijuana, so it's still illegal.
I've read over and I think we need to pass it, so I'll make a motion that we pass it.
Okay, motion made by Magistrate Richardson,
Second.
second by Magistrate Warner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
People running around on drugs.
Do they sign individually for their packet
Yes.
each time?
So they
I mean,
should,
it probably wouldn't hurt because you're adding, having this addition, probably wouldn't hurt to.
So they won't say they didn't know?
When's the,
So do we incorporate this then into the admin code?
yeah.
if they sign off on it, yes.
Because they do,
Because-
yeah, because
because it'd
we
be-
make any new employee, they get the packet.
Sure.
And it has the admin code in it, and they sign that they've received that.
Yeah.
So.
I would probably do that.
I think since,
Yeah.
I think
that would
everybody,
be-
we always made everybody in the government
Yeah, I
policy
think
like
it would be
this,
better.
because they'll go say they didn't know. or
Sure.
whatever.
So since we've updated the admin code in today's meeting,
Do updated codes.
do you want to
Put that
and,
into,
because it's a resolution, so it
Sure.
doesn't take 2 readings, so.
Sure.
And then I will
add it to,
add that to
initial,
our update.
a motion to
Included in the admin, so when they're signing off on the rest, they do that as well.
make that motion.
Yes, I make that motion.
Motion made by Magistrate Richardson, second by Magistrate Garner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign.
And let me just, so for your all benefit, because you may be asked, the statute provides kind of an exception to it for local governments, county governments to do this, and you all are just choosing to use that exception and disallow it for county employees, just as a overall understanding of what's
What's
going on.
CAECO saying? Are they saying anything?
I haven't heard from anybody yet.
Because they
I'm
usually-
sure, of course, this is just as of January.
Yeah.
People started doing this, so I'd say by summer, we'll be hearing what effects it has on.
Have you ever heard anything on that road?
I think we have actually, what's one thing I've got to talk to you about as far as getting some dates for mediation? Yes.
EDC money, we took in $6,143.36 last month.
And that's up considerably, because we've had a couple vendors that were behind a couple months, so that's
I was
why.
gonna say for January, that looks so.
Yeah, because, so that's why it's a little, had normal looking.
It's hard to say that Eli could love to go wet like, was it over there, Burnside did, and trying to get some more money, because this ain't a lot. Sorry. Anybody else got anything? I'm sorry, I kept y'all here over an hour.
Does that
Kevin,
include,
you got something?
No.
Oh,
does that include dinner?
We might go to lunch, we can find a place to eat. Well, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Motion made by
Second.
Magistrate, Skaggs, second by Magistrate Garner. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
I get out of here.
Oh, well, I'll get to